Hello and welcome to my non-spoiler review of the Anti-Virginity Pact. Now, I went back and forth from wanting to do a non-spoiler review for the Anti-Virginity Pact or posting a non-spoiler / spoiler review. Well, I think my spoiler review is probably like 40 minutes to an hour long without editing. I'm going to surely edit it a little bit. I'm positive. Who knows? We'll see. And so I decided I was make two videos. One, because I personally don't think you should go in this book without knowing much. I think exactly what I'm about to tell you is what you should know. I'll give you my star rating here, so you guys can know what type of video you're about to watch. It is a rave review, my spoiler, but you guys get to go on the journey with me. And by the 50% mark, I want to say, I update you guys every 10%, and that's why the video gets so long. Is because it's not just like every once in a while. I had a journey with this book though. I want to thank you. I want to say thanks to NetGalley and thanks, for Katie putting out NetGalley and things for me to be able to get an ARC reader copy. This is my first ever ARC I ever got, and the date was actually back in April. It was at the end of April, I want to say it was, for the reviews, the first the first wave of reviews for the book to come out, and I missed my deadline. Mostly because my life got a little hectic, the world got a little hectic, and I just couldn't really focus very much on the actual book itself. But I can rest assure you, the first 50% are amazing. But the last 50% I read in 2 days. And that's just because I was reading when I read it like when I went to bed. The book follows Meredith, and she grows up and she is the daughter of a pastor at a Christian church, and she is atheist. I don't ever actually know if it specifically says she's an atheist throughout this book, but I'm assuming she's an atheist. I might be wrong for me to. She never really describes her beliefs. She just doesn't believe in what her family believes in. Her and her best friend, in the very beginning of the book, this is in the prologue, sign a pact called the Anti-Virginity Pact to lose their virginity by the end of the year, because they believe if they go off to college with their virginity, then they're losers, somewhat of some sorts. And this pack eventually does end up getting out, and the book does follow the consequences of that, with a sweet romance in there. I do want to say though, please do read the trigger warnings. And her announcement video that Katie made, Katie Weismer, Kate's book dates. I'm gonna leave her YouTube channel linked down below, by the way. Also, the places where you can buy the book will also be linked down below. But in her announcement video, she specifically said that these were not heavily things. They all involved one or two scenes. I would say the biggest thing here is trauma. And so, trauma and anxiety are greatly described in beautiful ways. But I would look at that list. I would probably try to look at a sample, figure out what the book is about. If any of those things do trigger you, just know I do have a Goodreads review, which should be up by the time this video goes up, and it will have a whole bunch of bigger trigger warnings that I think are prevalent throughout the book, especially once they do happen. Most of the bigger trigger warnings do not happen until the last third, but I do want to let you guys know, as it's something you anticipate the whole way through and you're starting to question it. That was something that went through my mind as I read. The book itself is beautifully written. Hold on. Let me grab my Kindle, which is what I read it on, because like I said, I got an e-arc of the book. She was going to send out physical arcs, but, things happen. And I took a total, on e-readers, if you guys didn't know, you guys can highlight. There's 4 different colors. I don't have a color code system, but I also bookmarked and highlighted. So I highlighted over 165 different passages, paragraphs, sentences, whatever it might be that I felt were truly special. If they're really cute moments, they're really sad moments, whatever they might be. And then also, I bookmarked over 23 different pages. Bookmarks are specific pages that I knew I wanted to go back to. And then also, in my notes, I made a few different notes in it that were really prolific and that I was really, really proud of. There's a lot of things this book does touch on, and I don't think they fully flesh out, and I think that's okay. The book handles a lot as it is, and I think it handles everything that it wants to handle beautifully. I want to say some of the biggest things I have to give props to Katie is, one, this is her debut novel. She wrote a poetry collection, which I do have a review of. I'll link it down below, which is called The Sweetest Kind of Poison. It's one of my favorite books of all time, and so that's why this book was mostly anticipated for me, personally. is because I wanted to know what her fiction was like. And so with this book, things that she did amazingly, things that I'm just gonna talk so heavily about, is there's moments of suspense that literally shook my body because I was so scared of what was gonna happen. I was wanting to know what was gonna happen next. The book itself takes many different turns, especially towards the end, and you're just like, "What am I on?" But it's a great ride, so don't worry about it. And then also, I want to say the way she builds her scenery. It's something I've struggled with as a writer myself, and so seeing someone do it so beautifully and something like this is a learning thing for me is so remarkable. It makes me so happy. And so, like, what I mean by she sets up scenery so well, I mean, it could just simply be a place she's a part of. I know it's a very vivid book. The whole book, you could see your whole mind, and some parts you didn't want to, but you did it anyways. It was like a movie playing out, and it was beautiful. And then there's other moments where she's describing a class full of people, and the way she just sums up all the people really cleanly, it's just so good. I had a quote that I really liked that I'm sure it's not a spoiler quote or anything like that. I would never share one that would be. Okay, so I found one. So I'm not going to tell you where this is at in the book or whatever. Just know that they're describing a room, and I just wanted to read it to you to kind of explain to you kind of the vibe I got. So Joe glances around the room, taking in the guys in the corner making paper airplanes, the various individuals staring at cell phones on her desk, and the cluster of friends at the front of the room whispering to each other. I even referenced this in my spoiler blog, which will go up tomorrow. This is one of those moments inside the book. These are things that pop up every once in a while throughout the book, and I think the way she describes that right there paints a beautiful picture. It's great written. This book is very much show, not tell, which is a great, huge thing that I'm grateful for, and it takes you on a great ride. I will never stop praising this, and I'll forever recommend. The Anti-Virginity Pact by Kay Weismer is one of the best books I've read this year, and will probably be one of the best books I read for a long time. I'm super duper excited to see what she comes out next. Her poetry collection does come out in the fall, and I'll be reviewing it when it comes out in October. She is one of my favorite YouTubers, and she is becoming one of my favorite authors as well, and I couldn't be more happy or more proud for her, and she deserves everything. I do want to touch on one little thing before we jump into it. Religion plays a huge part of this book, and so if you're someone who's very sensitive to religion, that is, if you have a strong belief in it and you don't believe anything else anybody says, it could change. You feel attacked when somebody is going against religion. This is not a book for you. If you feel out of place because your family is very much a religion family based in the grounds of God and the Bible, but you need some place to escape to for a little bit, this book might be exactly what you need. There's nothing inside this book that is saying God is bad or anything like that. I read the whole thing. I can reassure you. It is simply just talking about the difference of belief systems and how one person could have a different belief than another and how every belief is equal. There's no talking about how one belief is not great. So, I don't want to see any of those reviews. I mean, I'm sure those exist. I'm sure she'll get them, but I want to let her know, reassure her. I never once experienced that throughout this whole book. I never once felt like you were preaching it down my throat or anything like that. I sided with both. I saw both sides. And yeah, that's my personal opinion on that subject matter. And like I said in the beginning, I hope, maybe I didn't, I'll say it at the end, there is stuff linked down below for the Black Lives Matter movement. It's petitions, it's cards, it's different things you can do, things you can sign, things you can donate to. If you have any recommendations of places you want me to add, just go ahead and put it in the comments down below and I'll look into it. And if I feel like it's a good fit, I'll add it, and things like that. And this goes for anything to do with Black Lives Matter, to police brutality, to whatever it might be. Just put down the cards. As you guys are going to see, there is a story of a Mexican boy that ends up dying, that I have linked down below because it's just so sad. And also, by the way, this book is sad. It's hard to read, but it's great. I loved it, and I read it. So, that's my non-spoiler review for the Anti-Virginity Pact by Kay Weismer. I can't believe I made this video already, but yeah. Alright, I'll I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below. Hit the subscribe button. And if you guys have already read the book, or you guys are reading the book today, because this is going out on release day, check out my non-spoiler review, which goes my spoiler review, which goes out tomorrow. Like I said, it's a very long, lengthy video of me going through the whole book with you guys, reading it, and it's beautiful. And I highly recommend you guys check it out. Alright, I'll talk to you guys soon.